I decided to send out a video today because I want to tell you about something exciting that's been brewing in the Hope for Life community. A long time ago, when Jesus was walking on earth, he told his disciples and ultimately he told us that Christians are to love one another, and we're to love one another with this incredibly intimate, personal, self sacrificial, Jesus crossing from heaven to earth to be with us, to die for his enemies, that kind of love. He said that's how we're to love one another. And he said, as you do that, and as this loving community emerges, there will be a powerful, powerful witness to the world around you that the gospel is true, that there is hope in the name of Jesus. Now, when you hold that idea of intimate, loving, sacrificial, loving community next to the typical Canadian model, which is more like I get up in the morning and I get into my car, which is in a garage, which is attached to my house so that I don't have to talk to anybody and I never have to step out my front door. And I drive to work and I interact with fairly few people. And I drive home back into the garage, which is connected to my house. And, I maybe chat with my family. I don't usually get to know my neighbors, etc., etc., etc. When you contrast the biblical idea of community, this intense, sacrificial, intimate love, with the Calgarian way, there's a bit of disparity there. Now, obviously, that's a generalization. Obviously, there are people and cultures and communities which don't follow what I'm calling the Calgarian or Canadian norm, and yet it's pretty pervasive. And it's easy for Christians and non-Christians alike to relax into this kind of disconnected way of living. Loneliness is an epidemic in our societies, and so is the falling apart of communities. As Laura and I have talked to various members of Hope for Life, we found out that a dream is beginning to emerge. And this dream has been emerging for Laura and I. And as we've shared it with other people, we found out that it's emerging for them too. And it's interesting because as we talk to people about their dreams and our dreams, they tend to seem to have there's sort of two kind of common characteristics. The first is, what if, as a way of living out this biblical command to love, what if we deliberately restructured our lives? What if we moved and actually lived near one another, within walking distance or on the same street? Or maybe we even shared a house or built a suite or a second house in the backyard of an existing house. What if we lived closer together? But what if we went further than that? And what if we actually reoriented our schedules so that we spent time with one another consistently? What if we had family dinners, so to speak? What if we prayed together, worshiped together, and all of these different things? What if we worked through the challenges of living in more intense community so that we could actually experience the joys and become the witness of God's love? The second part of the dream, beyond living closer together, is that this group of people would get intensely involved serving and getting to know people in their community. Again, lots of you have done this well, but often individually. And we don't pretend this is a new idea, others have done it. But the idea is pretty simple. What if we got to know our neighbors? What if we tore down the huge 8-foot fences that sometimes divide us and just put up chain link? What if we shoveled the sidewalk of somebody who couldn't? What if we found out that there were new parents and we made sure that they had meals and not just people in our church community for the first month? What if we found out that the schools needed help, or that there was a seniors home where people never got visited and we got involved? And what if we got our neighbors who we would be meeting to join us in that? What if we tried to bring the gospel and the hope of Jesus to our community tangibly and practically, but also with our words? As this dream has continued to emerge, we decided that we wanted to see if there are others who are having a similar dream. We know there are a few, but maybe there are more, and that's why I'm shooting this video today. I grant that the dream is fairly ambiguous at this point, and I'm sending this out to you now because I want to see if this touches something in your life, or if God moves you or challenges you or leads you. Then I want you to be part of the process where this dream gets worked into a concrete plan. I want to join you to spend time with Laura and I and whoever else will show up as we talk together and read together and pray and think and try and discern what specifically is God leading us to, and is he opening the doors to make it a reality? And if that happens, then we'll go forward. I've attached a document with a few more concrete details that will just kind of help you understand a little bit more of what I'm talking about because this is a short video. And so I guess I simply want to finish with this. Each Sunday we say go and be the people of God. Well, today I guess I'm asking you to consider, is being the people of God, would it maybe mean doing something a little bit different? Or does it at least mean showing up to some meetings and see if this is something God would lead you to? And if it does, great. And if it doesn't, that's fine. It doesn't mean you're any less. But I guess this is just an invitation. Go and be God's people today, whatever He's calling you to. Go in peace.